Okay, this is your next project, and you're going to be getting two of these. They're exactly the same, but you need two sheets. You can go ahead and staple it to make sure you don't lose it, but at the top it says you will complete a combination of hatching, cross-hatching values for one skull. And the second page, the skull will be a combination of scribbles and scumbling and smooth for the skull. Now, we're not going to be doing any blending, and that means no blending with a stump or your finger or anything like that. You have to just use the pencil. So I've mentioned an ebony pencil before, and that's what this is. This is a very, very soft pencil, and it's very, very dark. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on it, but this will help you get these blacks when you come up in here. So cross-hatching and hatching. When you did the hatching and cross-hatching on that technique page, a lot of that has to do with making lots and lots of different lines. The farther away they are from each other and the lighter they are, the value is going to be light. But if you put them closer together, it's going to be darker. So when you start putting them together with your pencil, I would just start off with doing hatching, and you're going to have to be mindful about where these lines are going. So this has a curvature to it because it is round. So your lines are going to have to start going around, and make sure you're aware of the pressure of your pencil. Okay, also see right here where it is darker and this is lighter. You're going to have to come back in and do some cross-hatching in there. So you're doing a combination. Now this is something that is going to take some time. You're not going to finish this in one day. If it is black, you're probably going to have to come in with and don't press too hard, because what will happen is that the paper has a tendency to only take so much lead. After a while, it just will not take it, especially if it has a waxy buildup to it. And that's one thing colored pencils will do. It will have a waxy buildup to it, and it won't accept any more of the color. So as you can see, still not dark enough, but if you keep on adding the layers of cross-hatching, and cross-hatching is where you're going to get your values, your deep, dark values. Now, don't cheat and go like this and then tell me, oh, look, I got that by doing cross-hatching, because no, I want to see the marks. Okay, also what's nice about this is that this picture has given you where the dark lines are. So if you look at it, it kind of gives you the outline of where the darks and the lights are. So it's helping you. But for the lighter areas, I definitely would start off with the regular pencil, And even if it doesn't look like it has value, there is value right in here. Okay, you're just going to have to come back and add some curved lines, not with that. And also, if one technique that you could do is squint your eyes between your worksheet, the one that you're working on, and the actual one skull, and just go back and forth, and you can kind of see where, oh, this needs to be much, much darker. And maybe like where your lines need to go curved. You just want to make sure that you're paying attention. And this time, if you get out of the line, you are going to need to erase, because craftsmanship is going to play a major role in this. So like all of this here is going to be dark. And also, don't forget your paper so that you're not smudging. That was one thing I know that some people forgot to do when doing that, when you created your own worksheet for the techniques, because there are some smudge marks. Okay. So the other one is where you're going to be doing the scumbling, which is doing the scribbles. And then the smooth, which is also just kind of blending it out. And then I feel like I got that too dark right in here, too quick. So I'm going to pick that up with the kneaded eraser. And then with the scumbling, I'm going to be able to get these darker areas within the eye darker, quicker. And like I said, if you need to, flip it around. If you're left-handed, you'll just kind of have to do your best on it. You can also flip this upside down, because if you're not concentrating on it being a skull, you're concentrating on the actual forms that it's making. Because a lot of people actually draw upside down because they find it a lot easier, because they don't keep on thinking, oh, well, I'm drawing a skull. Instead, they're like, okay, here's this shape. This shape needs to go right here. It's called Drawing with the Left Side of Your Brain. I believe that's the book. Or the right side of your brain. And then this is just scumbling, adding light lines everywhere to get your values. I think this one will be a lot easier than the hatching because that's going to take a lot more time. But you want to make sure that when you're squinting, you're paying attention about where, see, I didn't even get to that. So about where this is all located. And make sure you're squinting because that's exactly how I'm going to be grading this. I'm going to be squinting, making sure all the values look like that's where they're supposed to be. And no, I won't answer your question if you ask me, Barry, what does this look like? I'm not going to answer that question. You can look and tell yourself. Or you can ask a table mate and see what they say. Because I would think that your person at your table would be able to tell you, oh no, let's get some more dark values here. Let's pick up some dark there. Okay. All right. So that's what you're going to be working on. When we get done with this, we are going to do one drawing of fabric with charcoal. We're going to do it with white charcoal and black charcoal on colored paper. You get to choose the fabric picture that you want to do. Okay. So if you feel like you're running behind, you might consider taking some of this stuff home and working on it. Okay, so if you're ready to do this, I have all the supplies, including the ebony pencils. And don't forget that you have to have an extra piece of paper. I would practice with the ebony pencils before you try it on your worksheet, just so that you know how dark it's going to be when you start with the pressure, because it will go dark. But it does lighten up quite a bit. And just remember, no blending stump with these worksheets. Okay? And that is it. Ask questions as needed.